Some of the Baggies fans aren't happy. His persistence with Swift and Wallace are really killing us. There are so many better options available from the bench. Baggies are screaming out for MJ to come on. Why is it always Swift? That's what we're asking this panel today. What is it with the persistence with Swift? Plus, where's the fast-flowing football that Baggies were promised as well? Who deserves to be promoted? And the conclusion of our 20-minute Baggie chat today is looking at the worst ever West Bromwich Albion kit. And Dan has kindly nominated the lovely green and yellow that we can see on the screen there. If you think of a worse one, please drop the like button now, or even if you think you agree with that. And we've got the full team back with us, Ben, Dean, Dan, and Aaron, to discuss the Millwall draw. Let's start with you, Ben. What did we learn from that game, other than people don't like Swift very much?
Yeah, pretty much. It's similar to what it has been the last few weeks, really. As soon as we kicked off, could tell we weren't gonna get the 3 points. But it's very, very easy to play against. I'm sure the Millwall manager said, stick it on Jake Cooper's head and we'll be fine. We're just very, very soft at the minute. Very underwhelming going forward. No sort of urgency going forward, not creating very much. Our official highlights that we put after the game was all saves from our keeper. A playoff chasing team should be going to Millwall and getting a result, getting 3 points. Similar to what it has been past few weeks, struggling to break down defences, not creating enough. It's really frustrating at the minute because I've said before, I think we've got good players, but they're just having far too many average games at the minute. I don't include Swift and Wallace in that good players category either. But I think it's just the same as what it has been, just really, really poor going forward.
Social media seems to have taken a bit of a turn this week, Dean. I didn't find any negativity towards Mowbray previously, but a loss against Blackburn and a draw against Millwall has certainly drawn a few people out, not being harsh, but questioning some decisions. Ray says Mowbray can't see the right 11 at the moment. It's tough to watch. We need to stop playing Wallace, Swift and Diangana, and we might actually see an improvement. On his first point there, Dean, is he correct that Mowbray hasn't found the best 11?
Well, he hasn't, has he? He's changing it week in, week out. I mean, I like Mowbray. I will defend Mowbray, but no, it was hard to watch against that, to be honest. We don't seem to have an identity at the moment. We don't seem to know what we're playing or how we're playing. And I think it's a little bit unfair to keep lumping Wallace in with Swift all the time. I think Wallace will give 100% and he will try. He shouldn't be in the team, don't get me wrong. But whereas he tries, Swift doesn't. And they seem to be lumped in together all the time. Well, you mention one, you have to mention the other. It's a little bit unfair on Wallace, I think.
Dan, and thanks, Dean. Andrew says it's worrying that we have a manager who looked at that bench, seen MJ and Price and thought, nah, F that, I'll bring Swift on instead. It's a little bit harsh, but what's your take on this? Fans are starting to not revolt, but starting to show their petulance a bit with what's happening.
I mean, look, Mowbray came out in the press and he said that he's got players he trusts and he's got players he can't trust. And I think at the minute he's trusting the wrong players, especially if he's picking Swift over Mikey Johnson, your Price. But then again, his starting 11 is starting to baffle a lot of Albion fans at the minute. I mean, you've got Tom Fellows sitting on the bench when he's got the most assists so far this season in the league, and he's only playing him for the last 15, 20 minutes at the end. And Wallace, I think, coming back to Millwall, he didn't get the greatest of receptions from the Millwall fans, and I think that sort of took its effect on him. So he didn't really play that well. But yeah, you really can see the fans starting to turn on Mowbray, which it is harsh. I mean, he's only been in charge a month. He's only had a few full weeks of training because he's had midweek games, which hasn't helped on the training pitch. But yeah, you can slowly start to see it all turning now against Mowbray. But you still just got to give him time. This isn't a team that is this team isn't his, that he's built up like he did before. This is still Corberan's team.
Okay. I'll ask you this one, Aaron. Anyway, I think it's been said. Cook says when Mowbray takes off Lancashire, Garner, Armstrong, and brings Swift and Holgate on, it's going to be a long afternoon. I'm still not convinced by Mowbray at all. We can't have too much slander on it because he's such a gent of the game. But have you been convinced?
Well, I mean, so far, no. It's been a bit back and forth. There's no real consistency. It's either we lose one, win one, lose one, win one, and then we've broke the cycle and drew. So it's a bit of a different feeling this week, I think, where it's like there was nothing really in the game. It was a boring game. I think Mowbray summed it up and said it was an okay performance. Like the whole game itself was okay, but there's just been, like I said, there's been no consistency, and that's what you want, especially from a playoff chasing side. You need a team, and you need the form to go, to be with you, and you can't have losses like Plymouth. You can't have that in this situation. And don't get me wrong, he hasn't found his 11 yet, but he's leaving out key players and he's not bringing on key players. I mean, he left Mowat, Price, and Johnson on the bench and brings on Swift, brings on Holgate. I'm like, you're wondering why and how that's the right thing to do. But obviously he's the professional manager. He obviously has a reason for doing that. But a lot of fans, are in unison when they say that they don't understand it. So it's a bit of a weird one, but I'll trust Mowbray. He's been here before. He's done it. He's done it at multiple teams. So, he'll have his reasons for doing what he does. But at the same time, I don't think anyone can be exempt from criticism.
Yeah, the results went in your favour as well. I mean, you're still just about hanging on to that with a Cardiff City equaliser. Some good news coming out of it, Dino. Daryl Dike. Been a long year without doing what I love. Happy to be back. Jeff says, we bloody love you, Daryl. Can't wait for you to bulge the onion bag. Back of the onion net again. Boing, boing. Great to see him back, yeah?
It looks all right. You hold your breath when he goes in for a challenge, obviously. You think he's got another 15 months out. But he did all right. Hopefully he can continue. Not ready for a 90 minutes yet, I don't think, but ease him in gradually. Who knows? Madger's probably what I'm looking for.
5 minutes.
Yeah, I prefer Madger to be back, to be honest. I think he'll fit in well with Mowbray's style.
Okay.
Madger back.
Okay, brilliant. We're going to get through the whole episode without any mentions of Cole as well, so we're nearly there. We're good. We are finally talking, Ben, about this fast-flowing football that you were promised. Where is it? Because when you look at the stats, this was highlighted by a tweet there. 2 shots on goal the whole match. Expected or XG 0.42, which has decreased since Mowbray's come in on average for West Brom. What's going on?
I think for us a reason to play against. I think if you keep our wingers quiet, our wide men quiet, you kind of nullify any sort of threat. Because we haven't really got a number 10 to sort of play through the thirds. Most of our threat this season has come from out wide, and if you're the opposition manager, you're saying keep the wide men quiet and you stop it scoring, basically. And I think we're kind of hoping that Mowbray would have the effect that Moyes has had on Everton in terms of returns, but we're still waiting for that to kick in. I don't buy the notion of training sessions either. I think how many sessions has the Plymouth manager had? And they've been flying. I think we need to be seeing something pretty soon. On Saturday, I don't think we need a win. We need to see a performance as well, because, like we said, consistently at the minute, it's just all over the place. We'll probably win on Saturday, but then we'll probably follow up with a loss at Leeds, and you're back to square one again. So we really do need to see that run of form kicking in, and the games we've got coming up. Especially the away games. We've got Leeds, Burnley, and Norwich the next 3 away games, and I can't really see us putting everyone together, to be honest.
Back to doom and gloom on this podcast. That's great. Dan, finally to you on this topic. There's some tweets that have said, look, don't lay into Mowbray. This side have been overachieving all year. They're just not good enough for the playoffs. Give the guy a break. We are where we are through luck or whatever. But the side are overperforming. Beachy says the squad is bang average, and we're nowhere near good enough for the Premier League. Our best bet is to make the playoffs, earn some more cash. We've been punching above our weight all season. What's your take on that?
I mean, I think where we are is due to like the really good start we had at the start of the season, and I think we quickly got found out. And I wouldn't exactly say we're bang average. We're probably just above average. And as regards to going up, I've said for years we're not ready yet to go up. I mean, it'd be nice, but then we don't want to be the whipping boys and come straight back down. So you know what? Write this season off, and then let Mowbray rebuild his team for next season and go again and see what happens.
All right. Oxford then, Aaron, this weekend. They are. I think they've not won in 4 games, I think. Their fans are a little bit annoyed at the style of play that Gary Rowett has brought in. And, of course, Phillips is back at the Hawthorns this weekend. Will he get a nice reception?
Yeah, definitely. I think he was here for what? I don't know how many years it was. Six, something like that. It was a long time that he was here for. But, he was never a terrible player for us. I mean, he had that... famous free kick where he put it into the, pretty much over the Brummie end. But I think it was known for a lot more than that, positive-wise anyway. I mean, he had a large part of his career was very positive in the Premier League as well, which is obviously, shows the quality that he actually was. And I don't think, the fans could give him a bad reception because he wouldn't deserve that. And to be fair, on Oxford as a whole, I thought it's quite surprising to hear that they're in bad form because everything I hear about them is good. I mean, Gary Rowett's come in and he seems to be like they've hit the ground running and they're doing quite well. I mean, considering they've only just come up and their squad isn't as good as I think it could be for this league. I mean, it's a good League One squad, but I think they're sat in a decent position for what Oxford could have expected. I think they'll give us a good game on Saturday. I don't think it will be too hard, but considering with the squad quality difference, but the fact of the matter is, they're in this league for a reason. They have every other chance of beating us. Plymouth, we lost the bottom of the league, albeit it was away, but a better team on the day will win, and I think Oxford have that chance to beat us, which would be disappointing, but it's Albion, so what do you expect?
Cheers for that. Would it surprise you that on the Oxford podcast that we do that your Swift is their Phillips?
Wow.
They can't stand him.
Well, in terms of quality, I can probably, at this moment in time, it's probably similar, but I can't see Swift playing now. If I'm honest, I don't. So it's coming away from your point, but I can't see Swift playing. It'd be silly. I think Mowbray wouldn't be stupid enough to not listen to what the majority of fans are saying. I mean, it's not like he doesn't have other players to bring on, and possibly better players as well, which is why people are questioning him, and which is why people are sort of turning already. Which, granted, is very early. I mean, we've gone from a Corbrand side, which is very rigid and very defensive, to a Mowbray side, which is the exact opposite. It's very free flowing and it's very attacking. We've seen it this season already. At home to Portsmouth, and there's been other performances like that where we've actually been on the front foot for the majority of the game. But I feel like it's a real culture change, and I think the players are still adjusting to that, and I think that will take time.
Okay, cheers for that, all of you. A couple more things before we move on. Let's drop us a like as well. We're desperate to get 100 likes on the video this week. That'd be absolutely amazing. And do drop us a subscribe if you've just come across the channel. 20 minutes of West Brom Chat every single week. Coming up in the next couple of weeks, we're going to do some predictions across all the leagues, League One, League Two, Premier League, and so on. But we're going to start with the Championship, of course. Who do we think deserves to be promoted? I think it's fair to say, Ben, that we're going to see 2 of the 4 go up in places 1 and 2, given how the league is now shaped up. You were there at the start of the season, weren't you? In this discussion. But who deserves to go up, Ben, based on what you've seen?
I think if you're going off what I've seen us play, I think Sheffield United were very good when they came to the Hawthorns. They were very good. be playing Leeds and Burnley the next few weeks, so we see what they're like. Burnley have done really well defensively. I think they're on for the record, aren't they, in terms of goals conceded? So I think that's a case to go up definitely. But then Sunderland are playing some really good attacking football at the minute. So it's I think it'll be Sheffield United and Leeds. I think it'll stay as it is. And I can think Sunderland will nick it in the playoffs. I'd go for. But it'd be tight. Definitely be tight.
Dean, who deserves to go up based not so much who you think will go up, but who deserves to?
Certainly not us. Nobody wants the 5th or 6th spot, do they?
No.
It could be any of those, to be honest. I mean, Sheffield United were probably the best team we saw at the Hawthorns, but they weren't so good away at Bramall Lane. Leeds, we played them beginning of the season. Fairly even game. So we got some tough games coming up. We got Burnley away and Norwich away. So I don't know, probably the top 2 as it is, I would have thought. Maybe Burnley might sneak in.
Dan?
To be honest, I don't really want to see Leeds go because I know a few Leeds fans and they're all happy as Larry at the minute, and hopefully I'll bring them down a peg or two. But yeah, I wouldn't mind Burnley going back up. I think they deserve it, to be honest. Like with the like Ben said, they're close to the record at the minute for the most clean sheets. So yeah, I think they deserve a shout to go up.
Aaron?
Yeah, to follow on from what Dan's saying as well, I think Burnley are a very good defensive side. It's just the opposite end of the pitch where they're not scoring many goals, which is probably why they're not in the top 2 at the moment. I think they're like 75% there of the way there to being a real complete side and possibly even title contenders. But until they can find the net, I don't think they're actually going to break the top 2, which is disappointing for them, obviously, because they've only conceded about 9 goals this season. But Sheffield United and Leeds have just been constantly good for the majority of the season, which is why they're obviously 1st and 2nd in the league. And I think that it'll be them pair that will go up automatically come the end of the season.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that. Before we let you go, then, we're looking at some awful West Brom kits. I think Ben is sporting one by the looks of it. No offence.
He has that one every week.
Yeah. Right. Yes. So, first of all, is this the worst one before we get into any more? No?
It's from the same season, but it's red and yellow. That monstrosity. That is awesome.
What about that one?
Let's have a look at some of these. Go on.
See that?
Oh God.
Bobby Gould.
Wow.
Melchester Rovers are terrible.
Yeah, that's too
closely
much.
followed by the no smoking badge.
Oh, we've got that one.
Yeah.
I've got that one somewhere. Let's have a look at some more. This came up. Someone sent us this. This wasn't a favourite.
I like that one.
Yeah, I don't mind that
one. Okay. These two, yeah. Oh, this right. So this one. So we were saying about the stripes. When West Brom don't do the stripes, equally, that's when you get bad kits. This one on the left hand side. I don't know if you agree with that.
The one on the right hand side is iconic, to be honest, because that's
I like the one.
1993.
Yeah.
That was the idea.
Yeah. Okay. That one. Yeah.
That's the one.
That's the one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And this one has got to be it. That has got to be it, hasn't it?
The kit's all right. It's just
I had to just double check it wasn't like a prank one when I saw that. Saw that one earlier as well. And then thin stripes. What's your view on? What's your view on thin stripes? Yeah.
Nah, that's not right. I didn't know.
That kit just reminds me of Andre Wisdom.
It was terrible at the start, don't get me wrong, but coming in the season, I actually quite liked it. It's a very weird thing to say, I will admit.
Okay. The T-Mobile pink is the best kit of all. That's the iconic for me, West Brom kit. Right. Yeah. Let us know in the comments if we've missed any. Of course, I'm sure you will, as you always do. Right, fellas. Good luck against Oxford. Give Phillips a nice round of applause when he comes on, because the Oxford fans will, from what they were saying earlier. And we'll see you in 7 days' time to review it all. Thanks so much for watching.